Hi there, everybody. Welcome back to part 4 of this week's episode of Leading Our Own Way. We're getting into some valuable insights from this week's guests that you can definitely apply to your own journey. Please definitely stay tuned for advice and inspiration that can help us all. If you missed the first part of the week in part 1, 2 and 3, definitely go back. The show notes should be filled with all the links, so go and click on them if you need to catch up. Also, definitely subscribe to the channel and all the other ones if you can. It's going to really help the show. But for now, enjoy the rest of the story. Is it normal for celebrities to pull out like this?
Yeah.
Is that?
It is known that it can happen.
Yeah.
But normally they have to give you a reason.
Sure. But you didn't get one.
I didn't get one. So I don't know whether something happened between the broker and him, because I had another charity attached. I know one of the CEO from that charity made a stupid comment to the paper about Alec, and Alec wasn't happy about it. I don't know. To this day, I do not know what happened. I know it wasn't me. Anyway, so I took this guy to court in California because America is very different to us.
Yeah. The broker you took to court.
Yeah. Well, he had the money.
Yeah.
Right? I won the court case. I got $20,000 back, but the rest I didn't get back at all. So then, so that was not. Then I went to a lawyer here because they said they were a management company for overseas, and I thought, that's it, I'm dealing with Australians only. So I started working with them, one, to get the lawyer in America to get my money back from this guy, but also see if I can replace Alec with somebody else. And that's how Susan Sarandon came into the picture.
Right.
She was basically a replacement. And that was very, very difficult dealing, not with her, because I never spoke to her, but with the people here, a legal company. And it was this woman, she very controlling, was very difficult to get things out of her. But in the meantime, she said that Goldie Hawn wanted to come to Australia. Would I be interested in bringing her, right? And I'd go 50-50. I said to her, look, I don't have money because I've paid Alec, I'm paying Susan. But I had somebody on the side who wanted to work with me. Like I said, everybody wanted to work with me at the time. Mm-hmm. Now they won't touch me. So he had some money left over from his grandmother, and he said, look, I'm happy to put up the money up front. And he said, when we get the ticket money, I'll take mine out first and then we'll split, right? I did all the work and all that. So we're working with Susan Sarandon and Goldie Hawn at the same time. It comes back that, according to these lawyers, the Goldie wanted $100,000 for her charity to be donated on top of her fee. So the person that put the money in, he said, can we do it? And I said, I don't know. I said, we've got to charge for the luncheon to get the money back. So we did the homework, etc. But they said, but she needs the money in trust. So he put the money in trust here in Australia. So we were going to sell the lunch to get the money back and make a little bit on it. In the meantime, Susan came to Australia. That was August. Goldie was supposed to be November. I know it's a bit complicated. That's why I'm having trouble writing the book, because it's just everywhere. Mm. Susan gets here. I paid for her to be here. I didn't get to meet her.
Why?
I get called. I said, when do I get to meet her before the event? She's tired. She's going to go to bed. Then I get a phone call. Connie, can you be here in an hour? She's coming down and she'll see you, right? So I go all the way to the city to meet this Susan Sarandon. I get there. Oh, I'm sorry. She's asleep. She can't come down. Yeah, maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow's the event, right? In the meantime, I see social media on Instagram that she's out and about. The following day, we went and did an interview at one of the places at Channel 9 in the Docklands So Richard Wilkins comes down. That was the first time I actually met her, but I didn't actually meet her, if that makes sense. I don't think she even knew who I was.
Mm.
It was really strange. On the day of the business luncheon, all the guests were there at 12 o'clock. The media was there at 12 o'clock, the red carpet and everything. She was supposed to be there at 12:30. Oh, Connie, she won't be here till 1. What do you mean? Then, Connie, she won't be here till 1:30. And I said, no, she's got to be here now. She didn't get there till 1:30. She was an hour and something late for the luncheon. So, of course, people were bagging her in on social media. And one of the replies she made, she said, no, I turned up when I was told to turn up.
Who are these people in the middle then?
Oh, anyway, so that happened. I got a photo with her, just like a stranger, right? The night we had the evening with at the theatre, I barely got to speak to her again. And all this went in and around and around. And I thought, something is not right. Something is not right. The other guy that put the money into Goldie, he wasn't getting answers from them either. So he got really irate. And we weren't getting interviews, etc. Then we were told that not only was Goldie coming, but so was her partner. And we said, but you can't tell anybody. And I said, but that's great publicity if the two of them are coming, Kurt Russell. And no, you can't say it. Okay, fine. And again, we weren't getting much answers. So we rang Goldie Hawn's agent in America. He said, I have no idea what you're talking about, unless she's coming through her charity. And we said, okay, that could be right, because we had to put the money into the charity trust, right? So he said, leave it with me. I'll call Goldie and I'll get her to call you back, because he said, if it's with a charity, I don't have anything to do with it. That's a different calendar altogether. So we get a phone call from Goldie. She said, I have no idea about the event. She said, I was asked, could I come down to Australia? I said, yeah, just let me know. So, and I said, but we paid you $100,000 for your charity. She goes, I have no idea about that charity. But she said, I'll get back to you because I'll find out through the charity just in case. And we get another phone call. No, there's no money going to the charity. There was nothing mentioned about it. So it was only about 2 months before November when we started dealing directly with Goldie, talking to her, that it actually came through. So I don't know what the hell they were doing all these previous months. So then got really, what was the word I'm looking for? Was really getting a bit nasty with this company in Melbourne. So we paid her the fee. We were supposed to get a percentage back from the tickets. They were supposed to pay the others. But what they did, they took the money out of the trust account and paid their portion out of it. So the money didn't go to the charity. And Goldie didn't want to make a big thing of it because she said, look, I don't want my charity to be in the limelight, in the news, etc. She said, there's too much going around about that. She said, I'll come to do the luncheon. So we couldn't charge for the luncheon. So we just had 40 people. She said, I'll do the luncheon free of charge. I won't charge you any extra. She said, but if you can have, senators and stuff like that. So I had senators, I had the Blue Wiggles there, all that sort of people. But yeah, it was really, really bad. And that's when I found out that she was told that the luncheon was at 2:30. She said it the same way that Susan was told that the luncheon was at 2:30.
I mean, I'm struggling to understand why that would even be an issue. Why would the people in the middle be lying about the times?
They wanted control.
Oh.
They wanted control.
But what did they get out of that?
I don't know, because I know when Susan came out, when I bring somebody else, I've got exclusivity. If you want her there, sure, come to me and we'll discuss, right? Then they spoke to me because we actually went to L'Oreal and we said, look, we're bringing Susan Sarandon out here. Would you like to be a sponsor, etc.? And they said, no, it's not in our budget. And the week before she arrived, the lawyers came to us and said, oh, L'Oreal would like to do something with Susan in Sydney. And I said, no. And they said, oh, but it will look really bad. And I said, no, they got given a choice. I said, Susan is not allowed to do anything except my event. And so that's it, right? So I think they were trying to make money from other ways as well.
Yeah.
So they got my fees plus other money. So, yeah. Like I said, it was one after the other, after the other, after the other. And
it wasn't good luck with this, was it?
No.
It seems to be the people who are in front of the people who are the problem.
Oh, God, yeah. It's not the artist.
Yeah.
It's not the artist at all. I mean, Goldie was beautiful. But again, we actually said, we don't want those people there at the luncheon.
Yeah. Yeah, why would you? So with these 4 people and these 4 celebrities that we've been through, how much money, first of all, would have you spent on these people to get them here?
I can't, that's confidential.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, okay. Alec Baldwin, I can say, because that's out there. It's everywhere because it's been through the court. His fee, including the broker's fee, was $175,000.
Wow.
The others I can't divulge because that's confidential.
Sure.
And it's not fair because people won't work with you if you divulge it.
No, that's absolutely fine. I don't want to put you in that position. So overall, then, are you allowed to say how much you would have lost?
I lost a shitload. I lost a lot.
Hundreds of thousands.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can see why your mental health is massively going down here, but you have to, I suppose, you're trying to hide this from people. You're ashamed. You're going through depression. What do your days look like, and what are you doing to, help you know at that point in that time what we're doing? Because I know you're going through. Were you gambling at this point to try and save yourself?
Oh, yeah. I started gambling as soon as it happened with the other one. So throughout these, I was gambling and I was taking money from my client, and some of these guys' fees were coming from my clients.
Yeah. Wow.
I was trying to get my business to pick up again, hoping to make it a success. But like I said, it was one disaster after another, but I can only blame myself. I can't blame anybody else for that because I should have taken my blinkers off. I should have thought small rather than big. I'm a big thinker.
Well, you definitely have to get these people over and to go down the avenues that you've been flying to Rome, flying to America, doing all these events. You have to be a big personality as well, don't you? A big character and confident and outgoing, and absolutely. So with the total, so let's go to the 6 million that you stole then. Who were you, because you mentioned before a friend.
Well, it was actually a client that became friends because he was my client for over 20 years. I've known him even longer than David.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why that particular account then? Why and how did you do it?
Because at the end, he was the only client I had on that side.
Yeah.
Because I gave up all my other ones because I just couldn't keep it going. But he, for some reason, said, no, can do it at home, do it from your office, but can you keep doing it? Because he trusted me.
Yeah.
He trusted me with his everything.
So just from him then, your client, how much in total did you take from him?
Over 6 mil.
And how long did it take for him to notice?
I actually don't think he even noticed. I actually think somebody actually dobbed me in.
Oh. How would somebody have found that out?
The guy that lost $100,000 through the trust account, he has a friend that has people in the banks. And the reason why I say that is because they knew exactly how much went in and out of the bank, not only mine, but my husband, because we had separate accounts. They knew exactly what my husband had in his bank account, what checks went through. And the only way you can find that out is if you've got somebody in the bank, and I knew that his friend did because I met them.
Okay, I'm just trying to paint the picture of the jigsaw. So your client was connected with some of the people that you were working with?
No. But this guy that he paid for Goldie, he knew who my client was.
Right.
Yeah.
So how would he have known then?
I suppose look, if you did your equation, hang on, we did these 2 events, we didn't make any money. How can you get money to live this lifestyle?
Hmm.
And he probably said to his friend, can you please check her out, check out the bank account? I don't know. I'm only guessing because I personally don't think it was my client that actually found that out. I think he would have rung and said, look, have you checked your bank account? Because there's all this money going into her account under your name. Because they knew exactly what money went in and out, not only in my account, but my husband, who had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's what I'm saying. My client doesn't have that sort of connection.
Yeah, sure. In between this point of being found out, before you got served and the people approached you at the door, so my office lights just turned off because it's on a timer. Did he approach you? Did he ring you? Did he say, "Hey, Connie, what's going on here? Is this true?" Or
no, we didn't take that long anyway. I knew I got caught on a Wednesday. I got served the following Monday.
how did you know you got caught on the Wednesday?
How did I?
How did you know that you got caught on the Wednesday?
Because I transferred money to my account and it didn't come through. So I knew then.
So those 5 days, what did you do?
And I was supposed to go back to his office the following Wednesday because there was a Wednesday thing that I'd go. And I was contemplating how the hell I can't go in. I remember those 5 days. And I remember ringing up one of my girlfriends who used to be a lawyer. And I broke down and told her the truth even before anybody knew.
What
So
did
she
she
guided
say?
me. Basically she guided me in what to say, what to do, what not to do. Without her assistance, I don't know where I would have been.
What did she say to you? Did she say this is not looking good for you, Connie?
No, basically she said, look, you need to go and see a doctor, and tell her everything, because I still couldn't talk to anybody. I couldn't talk. Like I said, I didn't tell my mum till a couple of weeks before I went to jail. I told my siblings the night before, texted them and said, tomorrow I'm going to court and I'm going to jail.
So those 5 days from the point then, before you got served.
From Wednesday till Monday.
What did you do?
What did I do? I tried to pretend it wasn't happening. My husband knew something was up because he said, are you okay? And I said, no, I'm not feeling well. That's all. And he knew I had hit migraines, so he believed me. But yeah.
Did you go to work? Did you?
Well, it was between the office and here, so that week I didn't go. I couldn't go out. And then when I got served the papers, I tried to pretend out there that nothing was happening. And eventually caught up with me. I think within a couple of weeks, I just couldn't even go outside the door.
So you were served on that Monday. What month in 2019 was that?
September. 2018.
So the knock came, they served you the papers and you ran upstairs and you had to, as you mentioned at the beginning of the episode, you had to divulge the information to your son and to your husband. I can't imagine that moment. That must have been soul destroying. How did, I can't even comprehend how they would take it. What words did you use to? What words did you use to share, to tell them?
I basically said that I've been taking money from the client and I've just been served. I told them the amount because like I said, I just remember my husband's face and my son's face. I don't even think they knew what to ask at the time. And I know my husband blamed himself. He said, how did I not see this? And I said, how could you? I said, I always wanted to be an actress and I knew I would be good actress. I said, I'm good at hiding stuff like that. I didn't want you to know.
Was he angry at all?
No. I think he was more angry at himself than he was at me.
Yeah.
And I still think sometimes it gets to him. He got Tristan to get some help because that was the other thing. I had to go and talk to his Tristan school as well because I knew it would affect Tristan. So I had to go and talk to the principal.
Well, that would have been hard too, wouldn't it?
It was hard. I remember breaking down in his office, but he was beautiful. He was a really nice guy, and they were absolutely amazing to my son. They really supported him through and through. So that they were good, and David's work supported him as well.
That's great.
And some of our friends, even though I went in, they still supported him outside, make sure he was okay, both of them. So yeah.
So the point from getting served then, what was the next step the day later, or the proceedings? When did proceedings start? What did the next few days, weeks, months look like?
Yeah, okay. Well, the papers were for civil service, civil court case. So I had to go to the Supreme Court for that.
Yeah.
But soon after that, I went bankrupt because my lawyer advised me to, because I still had credit cards to the hilt. I had about $180,000 on my credit card still.
Yeah.
And that wasn't because of paying the bills then, it was because of the gambling as well. So I went bankrupt, and because I did that, then they tried to take my husband into court too, because the house is under his name, because we transferred the house under his name back in 2010, because I was advised by my lawyer at the time, because I had the company that said, as a director, you're liable. Make sure it goes in. It took me 2 years to decide that, but eventually I did. Thank God, because we would have lost the house. But then they tried to take him. Surely he would have known this, that, and the other. But anyway, it was proven. Then they withdrew those claims. So that was in October. It must have cost him a fortune because he had really top-notch lawyers, one of the top ones in the world.
To protect him, to defend him.
Yeah, to defend him. But that didn't last long because I knew there's no way he could afford those fees because they were charging. And also, on the day we went, it was just me and my simple lawyer, and they had about 6 of them. Well, what the hell do you think people are going to do? Just one would have been enough. I really felt bad for him. It broke my heart.
Yeah.
So that was that. And then in December of 2018, it went into criminal. So that's when I got a knock on the door with the police for 7 o'clock in the morning. I had 5 burly policemen and 1 woman. So they needed to come into my room and search and all that sort of stuff. My room was a disaster because through all this, through my depression and all that, my room was like a bomb had hit it. I just did not care. Everything was on the floor. I felt so bad for the police because they had to step on everything. So they took one of my laptops, and then they said, we'll have to go to your office now. So they drove me down to my office. But they said, you're okay. Said, they weren't in uniform, and they had just ordinary cars. So they said, people won't know we're cops. And I thought, yeah, right. 1 woman and, 6 big people. So we went to the office. They took 1 computer from there, and they kept those, I think, probably a good 12 months. They took some copies of various different paperwork and stuff. We went to court, and they said they weren't going to a bail. So my husband and I went. My lawyer couldn't make it that day because he had to go to Ballarat for another court case. But he said, Connie, you'll be fine. They won't oppose it. I don't need to be there. But unfortunately, when we got to county court, they put me downstairs. And that is the most awful place. Cold, barren, dirty. and my husband was upstairs waiting for the court case to come through. Eventually, it was our time, but it wasn't towards till the end. So because my husband needed to get the paperwork for the bail, because it was quite high. They wanted $250,000 flight risk.
Shit.
Which really annoyed the hell out of me, because I thought if it was a flight risk, I would have done it before I got to this stage, right?
Because how long is that point from being served to this point?
It was good 4 months, 3 months.
Yeah, you could have easily gone then, couldn't you?
Exactly. So anyways, so because he had to come home and get the paperwork, they said, you're going to spend the night downstairs. So they put me downstairs again. So I knew I was going to sleep on this slab of concrete with one little blanket. At just after 5 o'clock, I get my name called, and I said, that's me. Oh, get ready, because you're going to Dame Phyllis. And I said, no, I'm not. They go, yes, you are. And I said, no, I'm not. I said, I'm here till tomorrow morning, till the paper. No, you're going there. Oh,
Going where, sorry?
Dame Phyllis, which is the high security jail.
Oh. Shit. But
So
you haven't been sentenced, had you?
No, but I was, yeah. I still don't understand why I had to go to jail that night.
Oh.
So I said, but my husband doesn't know. My lawyers, no, they know. And I said, no, they don't. Anyway, they wanted me to get into this brawler. They call them brawlers. This little TV vans, but, they like steel.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
The tiny little window
Yeah.
on one side.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm claustrophobic. And they said, well, not much we can do about it. So I was in tears and tears, and all the way to Dame Phyllis in Deer Park, all I did was put my face to the window so I can just see outside, because I knew that if I sat down, I would go into a panic motion because I'm claustrophobic. To get to the jail, and of course I had to strip and all that sort of stuff, which was quite embarrassing, but there's nothing you can do about it. But I said, look, I need to ring my husband. I said, because he doesn't know I'm here. They said, yes, they do know you're here. And I said, no, they don't. She was quite nice, and she put me on for a couple of minutes. My husband did not know that I was there. My lawyer was shocked, because he said, no, you weren't meant to be there. So anyway, by the time you get there and they take you to a cell, you've got to wait into this cold cell, again, concrete seat. It was freezing. And they've got to do all the medical checks as well at the same time. And then they've got to give you these clothes for you to change into. And then by the time I got to my cell, it was about 9:30, 10 o'clock that night. I got to my cell, and I have never seen anything disgusting until that day. Even my room was clean compared to that. I could not go to the toilet. I did not go to the toilet at all, because I couldn't use it. It was just gunk everywhere. I could not brush my teeth. I could not drink water. I could not sleep on the bed. I slept in my clothes, because I just didn't want to get all that stuff. It was a cold cell. Anyway, so I was there till the following morning, till my husband came and got me out. And then I was on bail till the following year in November.
So how much money did you have to pay for the bail then?
$250,000.
Where did you get $250,000 from?
They put it on the house.
What, that quick?
They don't take the money out. They only take the money out if you do a runner. If you don't turn up to your court cases, etc. Yeah.
I got you. Sorry, yeah.
It's like a security.
Yes.
But why $250,000? I have no idea. And you look at news, and you've got pedophiles out there, you've got murderers, but you can't see their faces. They don't say their names, and yet you do white-collar crime, and your face is everywhere. Your name is everywhere.
So
it's like that guy that killed those 2 sex workers, for his gambling thing. He got 7.5 years on the bottom. So what you're trying to tell me is that lives don't matter, but money does. And I'm not saying I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And even in jail, I always said there's 3 types of people. There should be people that shouldn't be in jail. They need help before they get there. There should be some people that should be in jail for a short period to learn their lesson. And there should be people in there that should never be released. And I came across some of those, and I would never release them.
So before we get to that, then you said it was a year later that you got sentenced.
Yeah.
And I always try and imagine what it would be like to live that year or
I
even
didn't
the
live.
days.
I didn't live.
In your own head, like. Did you ever know when the trial was?
Closer to the time you eventually did, but you only find out a couple of days before, or the night before,
Oh,
what
really?
judge you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't. I was lucky that I had a really good judge.
Did you go back to work that year? Did you live a normal life on the outside world? I know never in your head, but I can't imagine going to work. You didn't go to work. Yeah, okay.
People thought I had cancer.
Yeah.
Because they knew I was out, and they'd go, Connie, you're okay. No, I'm going through some issues. And some of them actually thought I had cancer.
Because nobody knew, did they? Your family didn't know. Apart, obviously, your husband and your son did, but nobody else knew.
Oh, just that girlfriend who was a lawyer.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Gradually, I started telling a few people that I thought would be there for me because I was there for them.
So you lost those people that you told.
But they weren't real friends. They were only hangers on. My real friends, once I found out, they're still around.
So how long before?
Like me.
Say again, sorry.
That they knew that wasn't me.
Yeah, your true character, yeah. So when did you find out before your trial then? Was it days, was it weeks, was it months? Join us tomorrow to hear more from today's incredible guests and learn valuable insights to help you lead your own way. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you then.